All right. We back. Motor City Sports Talk. Appreciate everybody for checking in. Make sure you hit that subscribe button, bell icon button, share the video. Appreciate the love, support. And should the Detroit Pistons extend Derrick Rose, trade Derrick Rose, or let Derrick Rose walk at the end of next season? Let's get into it. Appreciate the love, support. Don't forget to check out the Detroit Piston Talk playlist for more videos like this. And it's an easy question. You know what I'm saying? What is Derrick Rose gonna happen? He's been openly talking about leaving and going back to Chicago, like he don't have an obligation with the Pistons or he don't like being here. He said he didn't want to get traded last year. The management respected that, you know, and basically he don't like playing away from Chicago. Like Derrick Rose, a weird type of guy. He don't like being close to Chicago. When you put him in New York, which ain't that far, he disappeared. You know, when we put him in Minnesota, he was happy. You know, when they was talking about trading to LA, he said he didn't want to go. So, you know, he openly talked about going back to Chicago. Remember, Andre Drummond did the same thing. He openly talked about going into free agency. You know, so do you want to let this be another guy that you lose for nothing? I mean, you lost Dre for nothing. You can amnesty Blake Griffin or Griffin play out his contract or trade him in the last year. You're probably going to lose him for nothing and not get nothing back for Blake Griffin. So, you know, at this point, you know, does what Derrick Rose bring to the table, you know, for next season, does it outweigh, you know, not getting them from him? Now, what I mean by this is if you do bring in a young point guard, I think Derrick Rose tutelage in his free game, giving it to the next point guard, I think that's important, you know, to his development. It's like Schroeder and Gilgeous-Alexander playing under Chris Paul, and they got better playing under Chris Paul. And I think playing or being under Derrick Rose's wing for Cole Anthony, Killian Hayes, or Hale Burton, or whoever you choose to bring in, if you choose to bring in a point guard, because you can also go the veteran route. You can get Chris Dunn. You can try to trade for De'Aaron Fox. You don't know if they want to pay him after they pay Buddy Hield, and they got Bojanovic coming up. You know, you want to try Spencer Dinwiddie again. There's a few point guards out there that you actually could move for. If Houston fall flat on their face, do you want to try to get Westbrook? Do you want to try to bring James Harden to Detroit? Maybe they say they're trying to start over there. So there may be some options after the season. I mean, Chris Paul, Dennis Schroeder, Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. So there may be some you know, options there. If you go the veteran option route, basically you're saying, you know, do you want to move? You want to let Derrick Rose play this next season, 2021, and walk? You know, you could have got a first-round draft pick probably out the Lakers last year for him. So that's the question. You know, if you bring a veteran in, then you can let him walk. I mean, or you can trade him. So, you know, a lot of people got emotional attachment. Oh, D Rose is good, this, that, and the third. But he's openly talking about leaving Detroit and going back to Chicago. Now, what does Chicago say? We don't want you. You know what I'm saying? We're going to roll with Kobe White and, you know, Travansky, whoever that dude's name is. We don't want you. Then, you know, does he choose to stay? This is the conversation that as soon as I'm legally able to talk to him, if I'm Troy Vincent and I'm Dwayne Casey and Tom Gores and Stefanowski, I got to sit down and talk to him like, look here, you know, we'd like to keep you in the fold. You know, and those are things, sorry to restart over, but those are things you got to think about. You sit them down, you ask them, you going back to Chicago, do you want to stay here? If it was in my power, I probably would like to extend Derrick Rose a year or two. And especially if I'm bringing in a young guard to mentor the young guard, to get a guard free game. 1 year probably not going to be enough for a rookie. 2 or 3 years with Derrick Rose coaching him, and Derrick Rose got to understand, wherever you go, you're not going to be a full-time point guard no more. You're going to be a six-man off the bench. You're going to be a Jamal Crawford, Lewis Williams, at best, Vinnie Johnson, Manu Ginobili, and you're not a full-time player no more. And I said this last year, and people got mad. Well, you know, Derrick Rose played 60 games in Minnesota. He's not a full-time player no more. People got to understand that Derrick Rose going to need some nights off. Kevin Durant is probably going to face the same thing after blowing out his Achilles. Not going to be 365, 24/7 players no more. Not going to be full-time NBA players. So you have to sit down there and you have to ask them. Like, if you want to be here in the future, we want to sign you here. We want you here. You know, your role is probably going to be six-man-ish eventually. We want a younger guard to come in. If he say, you know what, I feel comfortable going back to Chicago, then we got to deal him. Can we call Chicago and can we get something for Chicago? You know, would you swap Travansky for Derrick Rose? I mean, Travansky is a good backup point guard. He started some games there last year. I would call Chicago. Like, if y'all interested in having Derrick Rose back, and, we interested in blase, blah, blase, blah. And that's the $1 million question. Because you get a Wendell Carter in return. I don't think they're ready to give up on Wendell Carter. But Wendell Carter would be nice because, remember, the Pistons don't have no centers under contract except for Patton. And if you want to consider Christian Wood a center, you can consider him a center. So, really, if you can do Derrick Rose and some type of combination for Wendell Carter, that'd be nice. Worst case scenario, Wendell Carter would be a part-time big man. He can come in and give you some minutes. Don't forget, he was a high lottery pick out of Duke. He could defend and rebound a little bit. He ain't found his way, but maybe he can, get his feet wet in Detroit and maybe you can do that. Even if I had plans, like I said in my other video, of drafting James Wiseman, I wouldn't mind having Wendell Carter as a backup. That's a nice little rotation you got. Wood can play some 4. Wood can play some 5. Wiseman can play some 5. Wendell Carter can play some 5. So, Patton, he probably not going to stay healthy regardless. So, like I said before, do you think about, calling Chicago and giving them up? But once again, the Pistons can lose 3 players without getting nothing from them. You can lose Drummond, you can lose Blake, and now you can lose Derrick Rose. And that's just mismanagement at its best. But really, they need to determine what they want to do with them. Like I said before, it's nice having them come here and play a role off the bench eventually. But also it'd be nice if he don't want to be here that you can get something for him. And people need to understand that. If you can get something for him, get something for him. You can get a Chavansky, or you can put a package together to get marketing. If they don't want to keep marketing, I don't know how marketing would fit with Christian Wood. But if you brought in Wiseman and marketing to fit, if you got rid of Wood, but if you got a situation where you want to bring in Wendell Carter or somebody else on that team you like, I think by them getting rid of their coach, they're going to keep Zach LaVine. They're going to keep Kobe White. Now, marketing, he up for debate. I don't know. He had an off year, but maybe his year was due to not really, gelling or melding with gelling with the coach last year. So I think Chicago going to probably keep their core intact and see how it goes with a new coach. And they still haven't got a new coach yet. So maybe Carter is the guy they're willing to give up. Chavansky is the guy they're willing to give up. I don't see them bringing Chris Dunn back at all. Maybe that's somebody the Pistons can get as well. I like Chris Dunn game. He just got to learn to shoot better, but a good two-way guard as well too. But hey, let me know what you guys think. What should the Pistons do with Derrick Rose? Do you let him walk? Do you trade him? Or, do you try to extend him and get him to stay? So let me know what you guys think. Don't forget, we on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. You can reach out if you have a business question, inquiry, sponsorship, video quest, YouTube question, you just want to chop it up. Twitter is the fastest way and really the only way, but you can try Facebook as well. Want to make a donation? Cash App CJ Good 313. PayPal link in the description. Best way to donate is to share the video. And don't forget also, you can help out by checking my other channel, Wild Goodfellas Sports TV, right here on YouTube. We go.